So we're going to be talking about a fairly difficult subject today, not adhering to workouts specifically. So you might be a client and you might find yourself in this category, or you might be just a person who caught this video and you have a plan that you're trying to adhere to, but you're having difficulty with it. Let's go ahead and assume that this isn't just occasionally you miss a workout. Occasional meaning that like maybe you miss 1 to 2 workouts per month. In fact, let's just go with 3. 1 to 3 workouts per month you miss. Maybe this doesn't apply to you. But perhaps it's more than that. You're having a difficult time. The first thing I'd like you to do is put yourself in the position of a trainer. So you're the trainer, you have a client. Your client is on board with what they want to do with their goals and with their workouts, nutrition perhaps, general lifestyle things. And because they have these goals, you put together a plan. And at first they're on board, but then as time goes on, they start having a difficult time. They start having reasons for why they're not doing their workouts or other things like that. What do you do in that situation? How do you encourage that person to get back to the grinding stone and make it happen? How do you do that in such a way that doesn't push them away from you? Remember, you have been hired to help them achieve the things that they want. Not what you want, but what they want. So when they're not doing those things, how do you return their focus back onto it, get them to start doing it, and in such a way that doesn't discourage them or make them, man, this trainer is really pesky and bothering me. Again, you've been hired to help them with these things. So how do you reconcile them paying you, hiring you for this purpose, and just kind of letting them sneak by with the bare minimal, or perhaps no effort at all? On the one hand, it is all on the client as far as doing what they need to do. As a trainer, I cannot do these things for you. I can provide advice, guidance, structure, and a little bit of accountability, but I can't do what needs to be done for you. No one can take that from you. If you've looked up a workout program on the internet or something like that, or you decide to hire a trainer, hire a coach, and they set up a plan for you, you go to follow this plan, you're going to encounter obstacles, barriers to act. You're going to encounter reasons not to do it. Okay. If you have a coach to help you with those things, what would you like to see? How would they really hold you accountable to those things? That's the big problem, is that sometimes I find it very difficult to be a little harsher, because I sometimes feel like that defeats the purpose altogether. So, this difficult subject is this. Many people have delusions of grandeur that they're going to go after their goals. They're going to finally get that gym membership. They're going to finally stick to their New Year's resolution. And it's just going to be nose to the grindstone the whole time. They're not going to encounter any problems. You will encounter obstacles. You will encounter problems. And some of them are going to be fully, what's the word I'm looking for? They're going to be completely forgivable. There might be positive things that keep you from going to do your workout. Perhaps doing things with friends or family, or maybe you're doing something that really it's on point with your goals anyways. I'm not talking about that. That's fine. I'm talking about creating excuses to not do something and then finding fault with anything except for your own personal discipline. you will, do not forget, it's not going to be between you and the people driving on the road on your way to the gym. That's not where the battle is. Okay? That's just a part of it. It's not between you and other gym goers. It's not between you and your coach. It's not between you and your support system. Those are all factors, but they're not the most important. It's a battle between the ears. It's a battle in your head. It's a battle. It's you versus you. There's the you that wants to do whatever it is that you want to do when you want to do it, mindless, self-indulgent, and it's always going to be in competition with this higher sense of yourself. You believe you have the real you. You have this potential. And I'm not talking about aesthetics. I'm not talking about body composition, fitness, physical fitness. It's so surface level. I mean, we have to realize at some point we have to transcend that. It's that you're able to deny yourself this leisurely life, at least temporarily, in order to cultivate a more stoic version of you. Now, when you're not doing that, when you're slipping and going the other direction, I feel that I have to at least say something gently to nudge you in the right direction. Again, I cannot do these things for you. I'm like some kind of pathfinder. You're on this journey, this adventure, and here I come out of the woodworks to just kind of give you maybe some advice, some encouragement, a little bit of accountability, just to gently remind you of why it is you're doing what you're doing. I experience lack of discipline. Well, there'll be a thing I have to do. I don't want to do it. A workout, perhaps. And there are times to give yourself some grace and say, not going to do it today. That's okay. Making an exception. We have to know. We have to be the gatekeepers of when that's okay and when that's not okay. We can't just be constantly trying to prepare all these excuses to provide to someone else. And then once those excuses have been submitted to that person, we can now excuse ourselves from accountability. That's not how it works. You are accountable to yourself. You'll never escape that. You can lie to your coach. You can make excuses to your coach. And you can do all that, but you'll never escape the reality of yourself. That's that other side of you. There's this, once again, leisurely, mindless, self-indulgent side of you, the egotistical side. And then there is this real you, what you're really meant to be. I guess what's the saying? The two wolves, right, competing within you. It's the one you feed. It's the same general principle. So I would like you to just take what you've heard today and think to yourself, how do I get over my barriers to act? Realize that when you create an opening in your day, okay, you clear time aside to do a workout, it creates a vacuum effect and things will go right into that time slot. If you're not the gatekeeper to choose what gets in there, like, nope, this is at least half of this time I've set aside is for my workout. If you aren't stern about that is when you're going to do that thing, just go ahead and sit back. Things are going to fly into that timeline. They're going to go right in there, and they're going to prevent you from doing the thing, which is why you cleared that spot of time in your day in the first place. It's very interesting, but it's very true. You create time. You open up the time in your schedule. It serves as a vacuum, a catch-all for all these things. Friends are going to call you. You're going to remember a thing that you haven't done, you've been meaning to do. And maybe it's the right time to do it, but you have to realize you have to be diligent and you have to be accountable to yourself to be the gatekeeper of what is allowed into your time. So that's one thing I would say. Hopefully this video has been somewhat encouraging and not something that is just kind of like me being like, meh, meh, meh. I really hate that. I try to be a little bit more easygoing when it comes to accountability. But sometimes I think that like when the point arises and it goes to say something like this, it just won't be taken the right way. So remember, we're all fallible. We're all going to make mistakes. If you allow those mistakes to discourage you and keep you from attaining your goals or pursuing your goals, you're going to get stuck. And the only way to get unstuck is to pick your feet back up and get going. So, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.